Okay.
Maybe sleeping when I went there first.
So, B'ezrat Hashem, the shir is dedicated to our friend Moshe ben Chaya, our friend Avram ben Saralea, Oded ben Chana, my brother-in-law. Hashem, very first name. He's he's big Rahman. What's the story with the one we said the opinion for a long time? So Davin here. Eliad, what was the name? Used to come be wearing sneakers. He had this thing in his brain. Aneurysm.
Oh yeah. Not Hashem, he came back to the shul. He's Uriel, yeah. He's back from the hospital.
Oh Hashem.
He still also needs
Yeah. בריאות טובה. אליעזר בנטי, רב שמחה מרים חנה, נוסם במרים, יעקב שכטר שליטה. At Hashem should all have בריאות טובה. First flavor. Okay. We'll learn Likutey Moharan, second Chelek, Torah Aleph. We are holding by Seif Yud Bet. Again, in a nutshell, every Jew was created to have dominion over the Malachim. In order to do that, he has to connect to all Nishmas Yisrael. He has to love every single Jew, which, as we all know, is not that easy to do. And a shortcut to that is to be close and to love all the tzaddikim of generation. And this in itself, is a little tricky, because we don't know who of the tzaddikim of the door are actually the root and source of the neshamas in the generation, and who have the position of authority because they're very ambitious. They have a very strong willpower. And now the reason why this is very important is, okay, listen, you're supposed to love everybody, you're supposed to be connected to everybody, so what do you care? Just be connected to everyone. But it's not so. The thing is that we're supposed to connect, means you're supposed to love them, you're supposed to learn from them, you're supposed to, subjugate your mindset to what they tell you, what they teach you. So when you connect yourself to a tzaddik amiti is really a major junction in that tree of Jewish neshamas. It's actually the root. The lesser the tzaddik is, the lesser the junction. The Jewish neshamas are, you can picture yourself an upside down tree. Okay, the root is above, goes through the trunk, and it splits into limbs, which split into, into twigs. They grow leaves and so forth and so on. The higher the neshama, it means that it's a root to all those who come under it or connected under it, or he's like the conduit to all of them. But what happens is, when you come to somebody that you figure to be a major, tributary, a major river source, what happens is that this person's position And Baruch Hashem, I'm not saying that he's a Chas v'Chalila, Rosha, or whatever it is, but maybe an ambitious person. Sorry. Maybe his father was a leader, so they take him afterwards.
How could he be that high up then?
Because his piercing is through azus, through boldness. He's bold.
He's not the root of the Neshama.
Okay, so he's masquerading as a root for the Neshamot.
But he's not in the position on the tree.
So all the people that are Mekurev to him are actually Mekurev to one a private person. They're not Mekurev to a root. This is exactly what this whole Torah is about. This whole Torah is a mahalach. How can you go to what you need to go through to find out who it is that are actually roots and who are masquerading as roots, and it's an amazing, deep, profound Torah just to find out who are the real ones, who are not. Which means it's first of all, it's a very important thing. You need to know who's real and who's not, and that it's a must. You have to do it because the malachim, the kinnis of malachim, the angels that don't want you to have dominion over them, their envy is all the Yetzirah of everybody. Person can sit there and talk to people or makarif people, whatever it is, and the next thing you know, he's can fall into very serious misdeeds. Where did it come from?
What?
He can fall into bad things. He can fall into. So where does it come from? It comes from because he did something that was good. He did something that was, and now he has a big Yetzirah. The Malachim, became envious over him, and they want to bring him down. So you have to get your Shlema. You go through all the Yom Tovim to get rid of Tavis Moment, Tavis Noshim, Tavis Achila, to recalibrate them. Then you create a Malach. The Malach is projecting Ruach Nevuah. Ruach Nevuah, reprieves and takes your tefillah out of the Golus, of the exile. When that happens, doctors are not necessary anymore. It is through the tefillah of that person, which is Dvar Hashem, because his tefillah on such a high level, he gets refuahs all the time, consistently. Everybody, goes through Mishamayim, he gets whatever it is he absolutely must get in order to be mechaper of his letters. But we don't realize how many things are going on, how many things are growing all the time. Are growing all the time. And when a person is mispalal, he's zecher to a higher tefillah, or is mekurev to somebody who holds on a tefillah of such a high level, and he learns this Torah of Rabbeinu, he gets healed all the time without even knowing, that anything was wrong with him, and is actually getting healed. Tremendous stuff. And we said, and because then all the asavim, all the things, all the medicines, they have to give back their koyach to heal to the origin, to the tefillah, to the Dvar Hashem. Because tefillah Dvar Hashem is a source of all healing. Now, the koyach to heal trickles down, to the higher malachim. Those malachim, they borrow from Dvar Hashem. They borrow the koyach to heal, and they lend it to malachim who are underneath them. They lend it to malachim who are underneath them. They lend it to the zodiac, all the mazolis. They lend it to the different stars. They did the memunah on every single medicinal plant or whatever that is necessary until it goes to the plant. Now the thing is that all that power, all that ability to heal is there as a loan. The source is Dvar Hashem. So Nelson asks, so when is the payback time? How do they pay back the loan? The answer is when somebody who is davening and is davening because Dvar Hashem, all the asavim, all the plants, whatever it is, they give their koyach to heal to the tefillah of that person. So when they do that, there's no longer a need. There's no longer a need for the actual plants, medicinal plants for refuah. And the refuah can afterwards, the catalyst for the refuah can be the bread that you eat and the water that you drink. Until then, before this Dvar Hashem, so a person needs this kind of medicine or this kind of medicinal plant or this kind of therapy. But the minute that there is a Dvar Hashem, then it's okay. Then the person can get healed with anything. That's why when we're learning this Torah and people are, Baruch Hashem, eating popcorn and drinking zero cola, they get everything that they need from popcorn. You have all the refuah from popcorn. It's a good deal, isn't it? It's a good deal. Yeah, all right. Let's make a bracha. I'll get whatever I need from the tea. Avram made for me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'akol nהיה מדברו. Okay. וזה בחינת הצטרפות משיח. This is the shining of the beginning of the shining of Mashiach. Yeah, we're at 12. If you need, I brought my own stash. I brought my own stash. No. Maybe you need it. I don't know. This is the sparkling. This is the start of the illumination of Mashiach. What is the illumination of Mashiach? What's the pshat? What's the role of Mashiach? The role of Mashiach in the world is so we have, what you call the illumination of the sun and the illumination of the moon. In the very beginning, when the world was created, Bereshis, the size of the sun and the moon were the same. They're the same size. Now, the sun emits light, the moon reflects the light. Each has its own role. In the very beginning, their roles were equal. So as the Levana said, that would serve, it's not possible for two kings to have, both have the same, or with melech. Melech, you need one. You can't have two. You need one melech, and that's it. What? The what?
The kingdom can't have two kings.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the Medrash says, the Levana says, not possible for two kings to be using the same crown. So the HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, okay, so go ahead and diminish yourself. So the whole Medrash, which needs to be understood at great depth, that the Levana says, because I said something right, I'm supposed to be punished and diminish myself. So, Kadosh Baruch Hu gave her the stars. He said, to appease the Levana. We need to understand what's the pshat in all this. Obviously, this is euphemism for very, very deep inyanim. But that process of the diminishing of the Levana is a very deep inyan. Kadosh Baruch Hu, the light of the Kadosh Baruch Hu is endless. It doesn't begin, it doesn't end. Everything he does is endless. There's no room for any choice because it's like when you're turning on the light and your eyesight is good, you don't bump into things. You see, there's something on your way and you don't hit it. When does a person bump into things? When the light is low. Kadosh Baruch Hu wanted it to be bechira in the world, to be choice in the world. So what did he do? He diminished the light of the Levana. In other words, he created the concept of darkness. When the Satan spore, what does it mean, the concept of darkness? It means that the omnipresence and of a Kodesh Baruch Hu becomes hidden. A person can sit in this world and behave as if a Kodesh Baruch Hu doesn't see him. And even if he knows that Kodesh Baruch Hu sees him, there's a certain illusion in that person's mind. It's not the end of the world. Rabbeinu says in Sichas Haran about the how ridiculous it is for a person to harbor fantasies. He says nobody want to be caught red-handed. You know, let's say that the fantasies came true, chas v'chalila. And suddenly, boom, a person is found out. Happens to be, you know, a hidden camera, boom, the entire world sees him. Nobody wants to be caught red-handed. But when a person does what he does, you know, within his own chambers, let alone in his own mind, it's like, you know, nobody sees me. Yeah, I know Kadosh Baruch Hu sees me, but what? You know, there's a, you know, not really what? You know, what? Come on, man, you know, I know what? This ambiguity that a person should have this kind of illusion that it's safe to do so is a direct result of the diminishing of the Levana, the concept of the diminishing of the Levana. Ad kadei kach, because Baruch Hu did that. You know, there's a single chatas on Rosh Chodesh we are bringing. The Kadosh Baruch Hu says, "Ve'viu li chatas." They brought to me chatas.
I'm really going to show you a movie in the Olam Haba, everything that happened.
So this says, what is this korban chatas? Baruch Hu says, "Aviu alai chatas." All the chatas, okay, if a person brings, you know, people bring for themselves. It says, "Aviu li chatas," bring to me. Baruch Hu says, bring because to atone me, for me. Bring this current to atone for me. He says, what did the Kodesh Baruch Hu do that requires chatas? It says that I diminish the moon. Why? Because diminishing the moon is the thing, it's the source, is the root of all that there is. Of all that.
Why they created two in the first place then?
The whole idea is that there should be tshuva. You should work on it. Because if there's no bechira, there's no work. There's no work, there's no schar. Then everything Kodesh Baruch Hu will give will be a nama de kisufa, a bed of shame. When you go and you eat somebody else's food, they're always,
It's someone else's food.
Yeah, you go to somebody else go to their home and eat their food, okay? I mean, you go, you're guests, okay? You come, you're guests. And you eat by them every single day. How proud can you be? How much of an achievement is this? Eating somebody is giving you food. Somebody is feeding you. There's always busha in it. Okay, the guy can be very nice, can be very open, very nadvonas, rachvas, everything you want. But still, you're not eating your own bread. You didn't work for it. There's always busha entailed. There's always embarrassment entailed in you eating something which isn't yours. That's why Kadosh Baruch Hu created the world with choice so that we will get, our sustenance and our schar as a reward and not as welfare. That's the reason for the whole thing. The Beinu says that's a huge chesed that Kadosh Baruch Hu did with us. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu, being that HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, bring chatas to atone me for diminishing the levana, that gives us the boldness to request that Hashem forgive us. Because vis-a-vis HaKadosh Baruch Hu, how can a person does something, Lolin is against HaKadosh Baruch Hu? How can you beg forgiveness? HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives me sustenance all the time, gives me life all the time. Every single breath I take. Gives me everything from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. How can I, and again, and when I did what I did, how can I do this? How can I live? How can I live with myself? Then I go out to Kodesh Baruch Hu and ask him for forgiveness? Kodesh Baruch Hu, Chavona did kiviyochel something, as it were, that he himself has to ask for forgiveness, for atonement. Okay, so all right, we're in good company now. Now we can come to Kodesh Baruch Hu and ask for atonement for ourselves as well. Kodesh Baruch Hu did with us a favor, so we'll have some kind of an opening to get in. The Indian of Mashiach is to bring to turn up the dimmer of the Levana and to make the light for Kodesh Baruch Hu, the light of the Shechina, the same size of the Levana, the way it is with the Chama, with the sun. The moon and the sun will have, in other words, that the illumination of Kodesh Baruch Hu in this world, that the obviousness of Hashem's presence in this world will be so evident to the point that there will be no Bechira anymore. It's different. It's not that we are waving a magic wand and Bechira goes away. We're working very, very hard to bring about such a situation that we will have no Bechira anymore. We see the same principle at play with Aaron HaKohen. When Aaron HaKohen, it's Moshe Rabbeinu, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu sent him to Mitzrayim to take the Yidden out, he said, don't send me. He said, my brother Aaron is 3 years older. He is the prophet. He was the leader in Mitzrayim. send with him. How can I be a leader? I have a bigger brother. So Kodesh Baruch Hu says, he will see you when he will see you in your greatness, and he will rejoice in his heart. He will see you and rejoice in his heart. So Rashi says, the Medrash says, it says that bischar, as a repayment of, and he saw you and he will see you and will rejoice when he sees you in your greatness, he will rejoice in his heart, he'll be happy for you. Afterwards, Aaron HaKohen was zoicha to choshen a mishpat on his heart. Comes the question, because he's a nice guy, now he gets his schar forever. Because Baruch Hu says, his immediate automatic reactions, he'll be happy for you. He won't be jealous of you. Why does he deserve schar? Why does he deserve to have the choshen mishpat on his heart? So they say that Aaron HaKohen worked very, very hard to subdue his Yetzer Hara and to have a good ein tov for somebody else. It wasn't he was born a gutter. Some people are just kind by nature. That's no work. You don't get any schar for that. But Aaron HaKohen worked on himself. Sorry. Worked on himself to the point that he no longer felt any envy. So by the time that he saw Moshe Rabbeinu and his greatness, he was already automatically happy for him. But it didn't come cheap. He worked very, very hard on transforming his heart to such kindness. That's why he gets a schar for that. This principle explains what we said before. When we're going through all this of working on the tefillah, getting the kind of yeshama that you need, working on all the yetzaharas that we need, all those inyanim that we need, and we're working on it in order to achieve tefillah on such a high level, we are bringing about, every single tefillah is bringing about another revelation of the total greatness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. In Torah Bes, of Chelek Aleph, Likutey Moharan, Rabbeinu says that Moshiach is comprised of Tfilas Yisrael. All the achievements of Moshiach will be through davening. Mashiach will bring about, he will reveal in the world, he will turn on, the light of the Levana, as it were, to the point that it will be equal to the light of the Chama. To such a degree. How will it happen? It'll be through tefillah. But not just the tefillahs of Mashiach. It says that Tilos Yechtamach, it says in that Torah. My splendor, my praise, says the Kadosh Baruch Hu. Tilos Yechtamach. Echtam is Lishon Chotem, Lishon Af, Lishon Tefillah. He says, you know what is my greatness? That I listen to your tefillahs and I overcome my anger. It's also Chotem, Choronaf, right? Tilos Yechtamach. Also, the of af, the of nose, and of bringing in the air. It's a life force of a person. When a person needs to bring his tefillah to such a level, that tefillah lekel chayai, that my life is tefillah to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. When you get used to davening, to asking HaKadosh Baruch Hu for everything, all the time, you get into this mindset. You ask for everything. Your entire reality becomes what you call a ugedavend reality, a davened reality, a prayed for reality. We said, when Shmuel Novi, his mother brought him to Elia Cohen, and Elia Cohen said Shmuel Novi was Mori Alocha b'fnei Rabbi. He passed in the Locha in front of Tzaddik Ador. Anybody who is guilty of that is Chas Chalila, that has to be taken from the world. Elia Cohen told his mother, don't worry, I'll grant you, the Tzaddik Ador, I'll grant you somebody better than him. A son who was greater than him. Greater than Shmuel and Novi, that was equal to Moshe and Aaron together. I'll give you someone better than him, child better than him. Chana said, this boy I prayed for. This you can give me. Yeah, you can grant me a child that will end up being greater than him. But you can't grant me a child I davened for. This you can give me. You can eat the popcorn. Make a bracha and eat the popcorn. If you ask a Kodesh Baruch Hu to give you the popcorn, when you have the popcorn just in front of you, I'll eat this popcorn, and the popcorn, all my refuahs will be in the popcorn. I'll get healthy with this popcorn. I'll use the koach to daven. It's a different popcorn. It's the same popcorn, the same taste, but it's a gedavened popcorn. Obviously, you're not supposed to eat anything which is not good for you. That's about the Coke Zero. I'm not so clear about that. But anyhow, but be that as it may, when you daven for everything, Rav Nosson one came to Rabbeinu, and he was missing a button on his coat. So Rabbeinu asked him, "Did you daven for a button for your coat?" So Rav Nosson was like, "For a button?" So Rabbeinu says, "Well, you're too great, you're too big to daven for a button." But then a person feels like, I daven all the time. You go in the street, you're driving with your car, there's no parking. You're like, please give me parking. I need a parking space, please. Okay, you have a parking space. Then you get this, and you ask for this, and you ask for that. And you find yourself, I ask His Baruch for everything, but it's only bodily things, physical things. I don't ask His Baruch like to help me daven, to help me, it's okay. You'll get there. Keep on asking. Keep on asking for everything. For a parking space, you'll be able to get it on time. There won't traffic stopping you. The whole shebang. Ask for everything. Your entire life will become one big tefillah. It's Netzitzus Mashiach. That's the revelation. That's the illumination of Mashiach. And he says, Ki kol advarim nechlakim ze mizeh b'mare ta'am v'reach. All things in the world that are consumed, they are different from one another. In mare, in the way they look, in the time, the way they taste, in the reach, and the smell. That thing that make all the plants grow, which is the rain. Motor, right? Motor is mem tes reish. Tevis mare tam reach. Sight, taste, and smell. And the main thing is the smell. Why? Why is the smell more main to the fruit or whatever it is than the way it looks and the way it tastes? Is because it is the most spiritual. The sight, the way that it looks, has nothing to do with the essence of the thing. It just looks that way in order to entice you to eat it. But it doesn't, it's not as, they have now the taste is something that the body enjoys. the smell, the body does not enjoy from the smell. The thing that enjoys the smell is the neshama. As Gemara says, "V'zeu davar sheneshama ne'enes mimenu v'lo haguf." What is the thing the neshama enjoys, get enjoyment from, but the body doesn't? Ve'arech, that's the smell. This is the most spiritual. That's the soul. That's the soul of the object. Is the smell. It comes to signify the very, very essence of that thing. And because that's the very essence of that thing, the fruit, the vegetable, whatever it is, only the essence of the person, which is the neshama, gets enjoyment from it. But the body, which is secondary, enjoys the taste, enjoys the sight, the look. But the reach is already enjoyed by the essence of the person. The essence is enjoyed by the essence. The reach is enjoyed by the neshama.
Olfactory memory.
Mm-hmm.
Olfactory memory.
Yeah.
Memory of scent or smell is the most powerful form of memory that anything has.
Really? Wow. Amazing. Even they say that when a person's nose is stuffed, he doesn't enjoy his food because he can't smell it. The body can enjoy the taste of the food, but without the smell, without the neshama enjoying the smell, it's flat. There's no depth to it. That's why when they make all these artificial, additives, whatever it is, they make sure to put additives for smell, not just taste, but also smell. המריח כי אין שום נהנית אלא מהריח, כמו שאומר רוצים לזכור מברוכו, זהו דבר שהנשמה נהנית ממנו ולא הגוף. What is the thing הנשמה enjoys and not the body? ואומר זה הריח, that's the smell. ועיקר התפילה עם הנשמה, the main tefillah, the tefillah comes from the neshama. מבחינת כל הנשמה תהלל כאן. That's the pasuk that the Gemara brings to prove that the neshama enjoys the smell and not the body. Kol neshama ta'alal kol. Moshiach mekabel kol tefillos. Moshiach is going to gather all the tefillos of every single Jew, all the tefillos of his tefillos together. It's a very important thing to understand and to strengthen oneself. We're talking about a tefillah on a very high level. Usually, that tefillah that the person, his entire self, is invested in his davening. Usually, what's the first machshava zora the person has in his davening? When do I finish? That's the first machshava. First machshava zora. Come on. Baruch, Skadal. Oh, this is no. Get moving. That's the first machshava zone. It's because the davening is the highest thing. It's the very essence of your neshama. That Hashem, the schus of this, who am I to say anything about Teres Rabbeinu? Would be Bezat Hashem to refer Shleimo and Yeshua and Brius Tevo through Moshe ben Chaya and Oder ben Chana and Eliezer ben Etya, Simcha Miriam Chana, Nosson ben Miriam, Mir Shechter Shiebari. Yaakov ben Ita, Yaakov ben Ito, Elazar ben Golda, And all of us, Baruch Hashem, I mean, we consumed so much Dvar Hashem now. Hashem HaKadosh Baruch Hu should give us Shefa, Simcha, Shidduchim, Parnasa, Kol Tuv, let Hashem. Where is it? Here. Good Shabbos.